Hey y'all, Driftless Biker here. Just out for a little shakedown run after I did a little maintenance over the last couple days, a few days. Did service on the bike, oil change, spark plugs, air filter. I'd had a little bit of stumbling. Started towards the end of my trip last spring, and I was like, yeah, let's try some things and see if it sorts it out. And it seems to have. Do the cheap things before you have to go spend the money for the expensive things, so to speak. So I thought I'd take you along for a little bit of a run through my town while I'm doing this. This stumbling was most obvious at low speeds, like stoplight to stoplight. So I am in downtown Decorah, Iowa. Very beautiful little town. County seat for Winneshiek County in the heart of the Driftless. Well, not the heart, but in the Driftless. And like I said, I thought I'd just bring you along for a little bit of a putt, and then we'll get out of town here shortly and hit some fun roads. And not going for a long ride today, just a short little, like I said, shakedown run to get a feel for the new spark plugs and get them burned in, and getting a little bit better at breathing with different air filter, because the old one was getting a little clogged up. Not terrible, but getting a little clogged up. Which, if I'm going to do the spark plugs, I'm going to do the air filter, because I have to take the entire air box out to get to the plugs, which is a bit of a job on these bikes. So if I'm going to do one, I'm going to do both, because the air box is under the tank on the back mule, which not my favorite design, and Yamaha does it a lot, unfortunately. So you gotta, fortunately the tank is hinged at the back, so you just have to take 4 bolts off the sides. But to get to them, especially on the left hand side, you got the radiator and multiple covers. You got to loosen a bunch of covers to get to the bolts to be able to release it. Just have to take off the quick removal cover on the right hand side and a couple of bolts. So it's not terrible, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. And I got to lift it back up a second time because I forgot to connect my air temperature sensor to the air box. And I'm not seeing any stumbling as I'm going through town here, which is a good sign, which means that the spark plugs seem to have resolved the issue. And I'm not sure, I don't think I had done the spark plugs since before I left for Alaska in 2022. So there is, 35,000 miles on that set of plugs, and the gaps had gotten a little bit out of spec. I have a club ride next weekend, so I wanted to make sure my bike was as good running as good as possible for that. I'll be heading out Friday morning and meeting up with them somewhere along the line, and riding with them Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, and probably Sunday morning the wife and I will be riding with them some as well. She's going to work on Friday and meet us at our destination, because our destination is very, very close. It's in our neighborhood basically, so it's going to be a smaller group, so I want to get in a little bit earlier with them. My buddy that's leading it, we did one of the scouting runs with him earlier this year and ran the bulk of the Saturday ride last weekend, the wife and I. So I want to support him and be there, because it's the first time he's led a big ride. He's led rides before, but this is the big one. So I want to be there for him and ride as much as possible. And I have a feeling I'll probably end up winging for him on Saturday, because I know the route. Power delivery is smooth. Put myself into sport mode and let her eat a little bit. get away from this car, and the easiest way is to go reverse part of my route. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was a little spooky. I think traction control was having a hard time keeping my front wheel on the ground there. Woohoo! Tell you what, she's got a little more spunk to her after the new spark plugs. The old Pack Mule's a good old bike. I tell you what, I love this bike. It's been a good one for me. It's taken me a lot of places. I've covered a hell of a lot of ground with it. And, like I said, it's been a great bike for me. It's served me extremely well. Extremely well. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. And I continue to be very happy with it. It's very easy to speed with it, not as easy as a true sport bike, where this is an adventure tourer as opposed to a sport or sport tourer. So it's geared more towards on-road, off-road, dual sport type activities. And my test route that I'm running today is straight up pavement. Although I may end up with a little bit of gravel at the end. We'll see. I'm not going to run this real hard because there are a lot of deer moving. I would be deer hunting this afternoon, bow hunting, but we had pretty high wind this afternoon. We're in the upper teens to 20-ish for wind today, and sitting in a tree stand where you're fighting the wind just is not my idea of a good time. So I opted to do a shakedown run on my bike. I helped my wife as she did her maiden run of doing canning by herself. She wanted, this was her call, not mine. We've been canning. I'm not a prepper, first and foremost. I live in the country. We have a garden. We can tomato juice, salsa, and pasta sauce, pizza sauce, things like that, and some deer meat. Make our own soups and can them. I have some health challenges other than the fact that I eat too much, but I also have some other health challenges that makes us doing things like that much more valuable, because I have celiac disease. I have celiac, which is an autoimmune disorder. My body cannot process gluten. I'm not gluten-free by choice or fad. I'm gluten-free because if I don't be gluten-free, I get very sick at this point. My initial symptoms weren't that bad, but as I've been gluten-free for several years now, when I do have some gluten, I definitely take a wallop from it. So I really am very careful about staying gluten-free. Not everything is available gluten-free, obviously. So there are frequently things that I like that I have to make myself or choose to make myself just so that I can be safe. And it's better for you. It's cheaper long-term. And, you know, as we're here in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, obviously my area was completely untouched. We're 1,500 miles from where the damage was. My wife's youngest, is in the Asheville area currently as a lineman working to bring the power back to these folks that are going through all of this. And just a reminder that, you know, we need to be prepared because we have bad weather events here too. We have tornadoes and derechos and blizzards and things like that where we could be impacted, where our area could potentially be impacted, where, you know, the grocery stores could have empty shelves for a while, and you need to be able to be prepared for it. And we try to be prepared for that just from the standpoint of, you know, we know that these things are possible in our area, and we try to be prepared for it. I've been canning for many years. Even when I lived in the city, I certainly was canning without a garden. And my wife has been the grunt work person some. She's always been the helper, but I've always been the brain behind it, so to speak, because of the knowledge, the experience. And she decided that she really wanted to be able to do a batch by herself with me there to help guide, but not take a very active involvement. I did a few little things here and there, just occasionally stirring stuff when she wasn't available, grabbing jars out of the dishwashers, which is how we sterilize our jars, and warm our jars for her while she was filling jars. Just a small batch of pasta sauce, nothing big, but it's giving her the chance to flex the muscle of, okay, I'm doing it myself. And we got a gallon and a quarter of pasta sauce out of it for put away for the winter from our garden, which our garden didn't do very well this year, so it's good to have that option. God, I love where I live. She's got views like that. Bike is definitely running good. I think the spark plugs were the issue. We'll see. I'll probably still run another shock treatment or two of through the tank, just to make sure that there's not any clogged up injectors or anything. It's TBI, throttle body injection. Iowa 139 going southbound towards Cresco, generally Kennelville first, then Cresco. It's unfortunate that the state has not repaired this road because it's a fantastic road, but the actual road surface is pretty bumpy at this point, which is really disappointing because it is a fantastic road, but it is just, like I said, it's in rough condition. Just going to do a quick little wrap up here. This is Future Troy. Like I said, this was just a quick little shakedown run. Good chance to get out and ride a little bit and make sure that everything worked. We had a big ride for the group that I'm with the next weekend, and I wanted to make sure that it was prepped and ready to run. Not that the bike wouldn't have ran just fine before, but services always need to happen. And, you know, that's the way it goes. It's like anything. So, once again, thanks for coming along for the ride. I know this was kind of a different one. Hopefully it was all right. And as always, like, follow, subscribe, all the things. Later, y'all.